here we are in the Duomid, and this is a Duomid with the net in. So this is the current version. This is this is the one that Paul Messner sold, and he sold it to my friend. Ironically, he sold it to my friend. Obviously, with the Durston, you don't have the pole in the middle. But I mean, I'm getting old, I'm getting fat, I'm very unfit, terribly, these days. You know, it's really not that difficult to swing that leg around and that leg around.
MLD do an A-frame adapter for 2 poles.
Obviously, getting in this is easier. So let's do it up. Now this, okay, well done. Well done, Ron. Good one, Ron. One for the team. Yeah, we're a bit of a MLD fanboy here for the new people. So, okay. Well, obviously this is bound to win, isn't it? But let's let's have a look. So we're lying down here now. Obviously, the mesh is brushing my, you know, is close to my head here. But there is separation here, so if I move the mat over to the right slightly, you know, there is space, and I can stretch my arms out all the way to the back there. Obviously it gets smaller and smaller, the space, because of the pyramid shape, and then that's my feet pretty much there at the back. And then if I stretch out my arm, so okay, let's lie down. So my feet are at the back and I'm stretched out, and I can just touch the back wall. And you know, you do have space, you know, around your head. You know, I can almost go on my full knees here. Not quite, you know, my legs aren't quite straight, but almost. My shoulders are touching, you know, are touching both sides. If I put my knees to about where my knees were in the Duomid, then we've probably, to get me to fit in here, we'd probably have to cut my head off. So if we bring a saw with us and hack my head off, we might just fit in here again, to be fair. And we're on a similar mat as well. And again, to be fair, you know, there is a decent amount of room in here. Like I said, you've got that space through there where you can put things. How easy is it to take a jacket off? I'll try and remember and do this in the Durston. So that's jacket off. Like I said, I'm about 5'8", so you know, you've just got to bear that in mind. If you go for the Tony Hobbs, the salesman. If you go for the Duomid XL, then you do get a bit more room, but that's not a direct comparison to the. That's 10%. Thanks, Ron. Oh God. We're terrible on this channel here. 10%. Is that all I'm worth? I must be worth 50%, I think. So, oh, what on, Ron? Oh, you nearly lost a point there, Ron. Oh, yeah. So, that's it. Now, we'll try and be a bit sensible, because there's, oh, don't forget, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, notification button to all. Thanks, Mark. Oh, God. So what we'll do is we'll do the jacket test. So we'll do this door up so it's fair. And again, the door This door did do up in one go. You know, again, your shoulders here are touching, you know, each side, and I'm not exactly bloody Popeye the Sailor Man. You know, so your jacket comes off the same, pretty much the same, easy, and then, you know, my head's brushing there. You know, you're quite close in here. It kind of like does up. Ooh. There, so you can get a jacket on about the same easiness in both of them. And then obviously you do have to extricate yourself if you're a if you're a girl. It's maybe you maybe want to be a little bit careful. Tony, behave. All right, now let's have a look at the porch. Now, to me, this is where the Duomid scores really big time here, but now you have, obviously there's no room behind you, you know, so the Durston you have space behind. You don't get that obviously here, but you've got space at the foot end. You've got a little bit of space at the head end, and then you've obviously got all of that space over there, so you could put your pack, you could put your dog, you could put anything that you want to in that space there.
Squeeze in your pet Yeti.
And obviously any bits that you want to put out, you know, you can put in this space here. Are we doing it, Ron? Are we doing one for the team? Everyone would have shut off now, because he's just deliberately saying that this is better. I'm deliberately saying this is better because it is better. Well, it depends what you're looking for. No, in all seriousness, we'll try and keep it, Tony, keep it serious. You know, so even when this door is open, you can put stuff here and it's still going to be protected and dry. So yes, you know, you might, obviously you could cook that side and you're going to have more room for you left arm leaners, and you could probably do your frying there. So Paul, you could have done your frying there, so you probably would have enough room, you know, to fry your you get your sausage out, Paul. You could do your frying, you know, in that space there. It's so much bloody space, it's crazy. So crazy. Anyway, and because of the, you know, the massive overhang here, maybe not quite so much here as in the Duomid XL, but you can, to a degree, get away with cooking in this porch, you know, even when it's raining, or at least if rain is getting close to your cooking, it's, unless the wind blows it, of course, it's not really going to get into you. But this is the porch there, you know, that's your little bit of porch space, you know, as opposed to the porch space in the Duomid. And, you know, like I said, all of this stuff is effectively outside when your door's open, and you don't have any protection at all from the elements. I think it kind of just boils down to personal preference, you know. If you prefer, and you could use this without the inner, and you would have more usable space inside, you know, without the inner. You know, if you prefer a 2-wall tent, and, you know, and you're happy to take, you know, a door that does drop down here, Dan, you need to sort this one out. Another YouTuber mentioned this to you. You know, so, you know, that's an easy fix. So we're not gonna we won't criticize that one too much. We won't highlight that too much, will we, to put everybody off? Bye MLD, everybody. You know, if you're happy with half your stuff outside, if you're happy for your sausage to be hanging out for all to see, like some dirty old man, then that's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's it is nice. I'm knocking it. You know, no one who knows me is going to expect a completely unbiased, you know, an opinion and view. But even as someone, you know, who's just sort of walked into tents and things like that, personally, I just prefer the space inside the Duomid. It will be interesting because Chris, Southern Chris, hasn't slept in this yet, so it will be interesting to get some feedback from him as to how, you know, what he thinks about this, because that was his first night in that Duomid. If you prefer a tent, we'll try and do a pitching video as well at some point separately, you know, but as a tent, it's obviously lightweight, it seems reasonably strong. It's nice. It is nice. You know, if you like a tent. I mean, I probably wouldn't get one anytime soon because I really just can't justify the expense of it at the moment. Kind of see how popular these videos are. If these videos, you know, become really popular, and you know, and then people, you know, like really interested, you know, maybe from a YouTube point of view, it might be worth it, but it would have to be worth it, I think. And then would I get the Pro version in Cuban? That kind of would be interesting. Then they do a 2-man version, obviously. That kind of would be interesting. So, I don't know. I think for the moment I will hold fire. There are no... Did Ron put a pocket in here? There might be a pocket in here, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, there's a tiny pocket down there. So it's a symbolism pocket. We put a pocket there type of pocket. It's a symbolic pocket. Like I said, this pole is okay like this. But if the weather got really stormy, then you want to have it as vertical as possible, so the pressure is coming straight down on it, the length of your shaft. Woo! Oh God! Rather than at an angle, because you could snap it. Oh God! You could snap it. Obviously, I know from experience that this door is not going to come undone. I do think that a conventional T-zip, upside down T-zip would be better than this kind of flat D, because if there are a lot of bugs, you've got to open the whole thing to get in and out, and then you've got to try and shoot any bugs that come in. So I must admit, Ron, I do think, and you might very well watch this, poor Dan's going to be watching this. Ah! Hello Dan. I do think you ought to have a T-zip here, because you could have that whole portion zipped up and then literally just have this bit open or that bit open. You've got less chance of bugs. One other thing, don't bother trying to attach the inner to the outer. I've often noticed with my experience of MLD stuff over the last 10 years that it doesn't line up, and if it does, it usually pulls in the... Don't bother hooking it up, just do your 4 corners and the roof, and that's it. That's all you need. Don't bother trying to attach corner, you know, midpoints to the outer. It's not worth it. I don't really understand why poor Messner didn't get on with this, but you know, I'm guessing if you're more used to tents, you know, and other things like that, then you're just more used to a tent than you are something like this. And like I said, this centre pole, you know, unless you're reasonably ballectic, and my friend Chris, he's sorry Chris, more than me, and he manages it. Don't forget, if you're enjoying this video, to like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button to all, and tell all of your friends, or else. Do we even need to say which is the better one, which I prefer? To say which is better is what I prefer. I prefer to have my space where I can use it all, you know, more easily, and I like to have my stuff inside wherever possible. Still have an open door, still have a big open door, and still be able to cook here. And of course you could reverse the doors on this. It's just no to me there's no competition. But like I said, put your comments below. I'm interested in what other people think. Obviously I'm skewed in favor of MLD things, so you know, take that for what you will. But yeah, I just think there's just more space, more usable space in here. This is the Duomid when you approach it. So you've got your doors done, opened up, you walk towards it, you know, down, and then you're straight into the inner. You know, it is very easy. It's much easier getting into the Duomid than the Trailstar, I will say. But we're not talking about the MLD Trailstar in this video. It's all part of the joke for the newbies. I've been using MLD stuff for like 10 years, and it's just a long 10-year running joke. So the X-Mid, it's opened up at the front. To be fair, the X-Mid is the same, easy to get in. I mean, it's super easy, you know, and then you, oh shit,
in.
Right, we've done a very approximate measurement, and the Duomid wins by this amount of stitching here in the width. So width wise, there's very little in it, and at a canter by a furlong, good or bad, the Duomid wins it by that much there. Whatever that, however much that is, that's about 10 inches or, ooh, you're lucky. Hung like that stallion that wins by a furlong. So, I don't know, it might even be about a foot or something like that. But anyway, the Duomid is that much longer. The Duomid is that much longer there. So, but of course it needs to be a little bit longer and wider to give you that, you know, to give you that usable space inside, because obviously the angles come down, you know, more steeply than obviously with, you know, with this, because here you have, you know, it's quite, you know, because you've got pole front and back there, then, you know, that's how you have some pretty decent, you know, headroom, you know, at each end. So, you know, that does help there. But again, because that is a little bit bigger, that kind of mitigates that, you know, a little bit.
Bugsy.
You really do need a minimum of 6 poles. You kind of ignore the 4 pole marketing thing, because you need 2 front, 2 at the back, and you really do need 1 on the door there, and one on the door there, just for, you know, just keeping things, you know, because when you open the door, you can tie this door, but you can't tie that door. So you do need that one pegged down, because there's no way of tying that door back. So you need 6 for that. And they do say that you don't need the top pegs, you know, the top lines there. It's not essential. I think it's there. Just peg it out anyway. You know, peg it out like that. And I would tend to go, you know, with the line of the stitching, give or take a little bit, so it's relatively firm there.
For the Duomid, you need 4 corner pegs, 4 mid hem pegs, including one for the door. And those pegs, if pitched a little bit higher and a little bit further away from the line locks, can be used for the mid lines halfway up, or just take an extra 3 or 4 pegs for the mid lines halfway up. So the same as the Durston, approximately 12 pegs maximum should do you. And like the Durston, the inner is pegged using lines to the corners of the shelter.
Yeah, so that's it. Watch the video, the Tony Hobbs clinic on getting a good pitch of a Duomid. You know, that will just help with that. That'll be a separate video where my friend Chris was just struggling, you know, to get a pitch on this. So check that video out. That might very well be useful.
As always, those who make it to the very end of my videos, you are the ones who are helping the channel the absolute most, and you are the ones that get the gold star for making it to the end. So please do remember to like, subscribe. Please do try to share my videos wherever possible with your friends, family, social media, anywhere that you can. And also hit that notification button, and of course please do leave a comment below. Any thoughts, suggestions, anything. I do my very best to answer questions or concerns or queries, and just enjoy reading your comments. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video.
I haven't deliberately been extra funny here. It's just worked out that it's been extra funny and amusing over here. I can't help it really.